Chad Prather rose to internet fandom as the man who's unapologetically Southern.
Heath Oaks is a published author who failed his way to success.
Together, they tackle today's headlines in a way only a Southern Spitfire and a millennial mogul can.
Take off your sport coat, grab a beer, and enjoy the conversation.
This is Second Shot with Chad Prather and Heath Oaks.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Second Shot. I'm sitting in the RNCN studios, high atop this tower. What are we on, the 5th floor?
Yeah, way up there.
Yeah, overlooking.
It looks high though.
It does. Well, it would probably hurt you if you fell from it.
Oh, definitely.
So anything over 10 feet to me becomes a tower. Sitting here with my buddy Heath Oaks and producer Zach and Kristen. What's going on, Heath?
Well, just give everybody a heads up. What we do is Second Shot is we take headlines and things, and we try to take a second shot at them and twist and a turn and try to see what we can do to make anything apply to your business or personal life. But I'm excited about this headline here because this one kind of really got me extremely unhappy.
Well, I'm excited about your unhappiness too.
I was trying to figure out how I could. I had some really bad things I wanted to say, so I was trying to,
I see which headline it is. See, a lot of times we don't discuss a lot of the headlines.
Well,
here.
And this should hit you really hard, knowing that who your wife is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Read this headline.
Yes, hospital changes protocol after nurse arrested over patient's blood draw. You guys heard about this? It was like last week or so.
Mm-hmm. So anybody who hasn't heard of this story, you're under a rock as well. But the cops brought in an unconscious man and wanted it to the hospital to draw the blood. And the nurse was like, well, she was making a call to the superiors because she was under the deal that you have to get a search warrant if somebody's unconscious and cannot give consent, right? Which she was correct.
She's correct.
In watching the video, it is terrifying because the cop literally lost everything he had and like aggressively grabbed the nurse, arrested her, handcuffs, dragging her out the front door. It was absolutely crazy. And the nurse was correct. Protocols needed a search warrant, and all those things.
Blood is that man's property.
Yes,
and
you
so
can't just take it.
Can't just take it, and he was not a suspect.
And your wife is a nurse. If that cop did that to your wife,
well, he would lose his job first of all, and he would probably lose his ass because I would kick it.
And I would wait till he lost his job. So whenever I beat the hell out of him, it wasn't assault of a cop. It was just a regular person
with
at that
guy,
point.
You can tell, and look, I'm being judgmental here. I can't get inside anybody's head or heart, but you could just tell the guy had just had it. He was frustrated. He'd had enough. She wasn't doing it. She was on the phone. She was listening to her superiors, and she was going to do. And I asked my wife, I said, Jade, Jade's been a trauma nurse at Harris Hospital in Fort Worth for 14 years. She's finishing up school and getting her master's degree to be a nurse practitioner. I asked her, I said, what would you have done in that situation? She said, I would have done whatever the hospital's protocol told me. And I said, is that not universal? And she said, well, not necessarily. There could be different things. She said, but typically, yes, what that nurse did is actually, that's correct. I mean, you have all kind of things from not only legal violations with warrants, but you got HIPAA violations with privacy. There's just things you can't just go and start taking people's stuff.
You can't just take a man's blood that's unconscious.
No, you can't do that.
No matter what he did or didn't or is alleged to do.
Yeah, and he wasn't even, I don't think he was even a suspect in the deal.
It doesn't matter. The cop lost his.
And he's probably going to lose his job. He needs to lose his job.
Should.
If there's any justice, look, and let me just go on record as saying, and I've said it a million times, I'm one of the biggest supporters of police officers and law enforcement and first responders. The vast majority of police officers out there in the world today are good men and good women. I support them. I back them. But let me tell you, and this guy might be a wonderful cop. He might have a record of being a great cop.
This is a mistake,
but
he
blew
your
it.
job,
He blew it on this one.
You can't.
And
blow
sometimes people in authority, they do blow it.
Yep.
And you know what the problem is when you blow it. I don't care how good you've been and how long your career and stuff is. When you blow it that one time, you've blown the whole thing.
Something that big.
It's like hanging over a cliff.
It's not a small blow it. That's a massive blow. You know what I mean? Like
I like big blow-its.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it's like if you're hanging over a cliff by a chain and the chain has, 10 or 15 links in it. Only one link has to break. You don't have to break them all. You just break the one link and you got disaster.
You know, you and everybody in this world, at some point, whether it is in your personal life or maybe you're in a position of authority at your job, you can never let the ego get to your head, the power trip thing, that you're powerful. I agree with you. I believe that the vast majority of cops are good cops. The ones are not that get this power trip in their head, that they're You know, the ones that are not are like the kids that got picked
Yeah.
on in school, and now they're all going to try to make it all back on them and use their power. And in your personal life, your power over your kids, or if maybe you think you got the power over your spouse, abusing, anytime you're given power, much is expected of you.
Yeah.
You can't. So like in this case, he was given a badge and a way to have an authority, and he screwed up here to where what as much is expected, you lose your job and should never be a cop again. This is this is not like a high intense situation. You lost your cool in a situation that should not have lost your cool.
Right.
So when you are giving much power, whether it is being a dad or a mom, much is expected of you from those kids.
Right.
You are expected to be the person that they need to see in a positive light, and you are expected to teach them the things that there is to do.
Right.
You are expected to treat your spouse in a way that you want your daughter or son to be seen as well. You got to look at it in your workload. If you're given a title of leadership, that doesn't mean anything. You have that title, but you're not going to gain followership by just a title.
Yeah.
So to whom much is given, much is expected.
Yeah.
You have to suffer the consequences, and they're bigger. And when it comes to parenting or being a spouse, you suffer much bigger consequences than losing a job.
Well, if you're gonna have authority, you got to be under authority.
Yep.
And that is a principle in life. You can't have authority unless you're under authority. So you got to submit to something. Everybody submits to some form of authority.
Yep.
Everybody does. Whether you want to, you will. And if you don't submit to it, you will be forced to submit to it. You go out there and break the law, defy authority, and see what happens. You will be forced to submit to that authority. You get arrested, you go to jail, you go to prison, whatever. But the key to authority is a word that no one knows the meaning of, and it's the word meekness. Meekness. And it's like an old word. Nobody ever says, "Oh, well, that person's really meek," because we don't know what that means.
Yeah.
We don't know what it means to be meek. People
We're not
think-
all smart
People,
like you, Chad.
I am. You know, ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That's why I'm educating you here
Good.
on Second
I
Shot.
appreciate that. I appreciate that.
So meekness, people misinterpret that to mean that it is weakness.
Yeah,
It's not at all. Meekness is quite simply power under control.
Yep.
So a horse that is bridled, a horse that you're riding, that horse that you're on the back of could kill you at any time. He could throw you off, stomp you. I mean, he could kill you. He's just got the power to, but because he's broken, he's under authority. His power is under control. He's meek. And people don't understand how much power there is in being meek. When you understand the authority you're under, how to operate that way, you have more of it. This guy, he lost his mind. He lost control. His temper got the best of him. Look, I got a temper.
Oh, yeah.
You got a temper. I mean, we know how that
Absolutely.
goes. I mean, I've seen Zach lose control.
You
breaking
have?
breaking
Computers went
windows,
throwing.
ripping
Why do you
it-
think Kristen hadn't been here very much lately?
I've seen him ripping shirts, breaking windows, throwing lamps, and that was just at my house.
But there's
So-
always that time, and that's why as a parent, you lose that temper and that control one time in front of your kids, and they see that and they don't forget it. Those are the things
I know.
you have to understand, that there are times like there is losing it and making mistakes, and then there is completely
Yeah.
something on this end of it that is absolutely
Yep.
all consequences that coming your way are deserved because you literally lost total control of yourself. Like, if you're about to lose your control, you have to remember as a parent or as a spouse, you're somebody that has power been given to, that much is expected. You can't lose it like this. This dude lost it.
He lost it.
As a leader, someone that oversees people, like in this situation, the cop wasn't immediately fired. So what level of forgiveness or talking to, how do you handle a situation like this? Because at some
On
point,
whose part? On which side?
On the side of the supervisor overlooking this police officer.
He did smart by not immediately
So because
reacting.
we talk about, some people just crack. At some point they lose their stuff and, things go wrong. But, Chad gave the example. Maybe he was a great cop and maybe this was a one-time incident. But at what point do you forgive and move on? Or do you say, there's a certain threshold? And
to me, there's number one, I agree with the supervisor for saying you're on leave and take a couple days. Let's review everything. You never want to react to things very, very quickly.
yeah, because there was no immediate firing decision.
He just
made
put him
here.
on leave, let things calm down, look at it all, do what. Now, here's the thing. This would be, no matter how good he was, gone to me because I don't care what's going on and how it is, because If he would have lost his cool in the middle of something and killed somebody that did not need it, that is the next level. He obviously cannot. There's those things that are mistakes that I'm okay with, but then there's the different type of mistakes. Like this is, you just grabbed a nurse and drug her out that hospital like she was a crackhead with a knife about to kill somebody. Like that was, you lost all control.
For me, I put nurses there with first responders. They're the people who, quite literally, they take your shit. They wipe your ass. They do the stuff that nobody else wants to do. And I'm saying that as strong as I know how to say.
Absolutely.
Because they do the stuff. They have to pick your fat butt up off the ground and put you on a toilet and bathe you. It can be a very undignified job. So I put them right there with first responders. They are the first line of medical defense in your health whenever you're in a hospital. And so he grabbed her. I mean, he did that. And, she's whether she was a phlebotomist, I don't know the whole thing, but I mean, either way, she's there. She's a nurse practitioner, or she's a practitioner of medicine.
And think about this, Christian. I think what you're thinking, you always got to think about the job and the thing that was made. So being a cop, if I see a cop make a procedure, if I'm a supervisor of cops and they make a wrong decision on just a protocol, right? Just kind of, they didn't do this paperwork right, didn't do that. That's okay, move on, right? If I see a cop that cannot control their emotions, they're gone. Because I do not want a cop of mine that cannot, because you're under stress all the time. If you cannot control your emotions, that is an issue. So it's all different because it depends on the business you're in. You've got to think about what is it that's the most important. The thing that happened, if that would have happened on another level or anything else, could it be extremely detrimental? Is it something that can't be controlled or something that can't be fixed? When you can't control, when I would lose trust in this man having a gun, representing my city as a cop, when he lost control on a nurse that was doing nothing threatening at all.
Because she was calm and collected. She wasn't posing a threat.
And if you watch the video, when he gets her outside, another police officer grabs him on the shoulder and says, tries to pull him off, and finally he just walks away because he realizes this thing's going down. And let me tell you, true meekness and true authority, this guy would have stopped what he was doing right there when he got collected, and he would have apologized. And that's what you do too when you lose your cool. You talk about with your kids and your wife and all that. You know what? We're all going to lose our cool. When you do that, you go back, you apologize, you ask forgiveness, you do those things. But this guy, he can't give her dignity back.
No.
He can't give her that he embarrassed her. He shamed her. He did all of these things. He arrested her. She's on the news media now. The whole world has seen this. He can't give that back, and it's all because he lost his cool. You got to go, pal.
Got to go.
You're fired. That was me being presidential. How about that? All right, we got to take a break. All right, we're going to come back to the second segment of Second Shot. We'll be right back.
Ready, aim, fire. Second Shot is back for another round on the Real News Communications Network.
Yeah, we're right back here on the second segment of Second Shot. Or maybe it's the Second Shot second segment. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. You know what we're talking about.
However you can say it.
I know, it's tough. I tell you what I can say. All you need is love.
Love.
All you need is love. I'm sorry, I won't do that to you anymore.
That, man. Good job.
I just won't do that to you anymore, folks. But you know what? In the world we're living in these days, it seems like what we need is more love. I don't know that people even know what love is anymore. We've misdefined it. We've characterized it as an emotion.
I've always said that I believe love is the most overused word in the English language.
Well, people talk about
in any language because they never use it correctly.
Well, people talk about falling in love. Well, if you can fall in love and that's an emotion, you can just as mysteriously fall out of love. So I think of love as a choice. It is. I make a decision to behave towards you lovingly and with love. And you know what? I know that emotions follow actions. And so if I act lovingly towards you, eventually...
I don't think people know that, though.
They don't know that.
We're not talking about love because I love Chad Prather. He just loves me and won't stop hounding me all the time.
That's not my hand, you feel.
The reason we're talking about love is our next little headline. It's kind of a fun... Like I figured that all the stuff going on this this kind of grabbed me. I think it's a perfect time to kind of have this little headline. What is it, Zach?
Yes, 12 powerful Mother Teresa quotes that will stay with you. And I got 12 quotes here, and we decided, we're not gonna vet these or anything. I'm just gonna throw them at you. We're gonna see what sticks. How you guys feel about that?
See what sticks. Throw some love at me and see what sticks.
Yes, indeedy. All right. So first one: do not think that love, in order to be genuine, has to be extraordinary. Extraordinary.
Well, I think that is a good point in the sense that people are looking to get slapped in the face with love. They're wanting to be surprised by it. They want fireworks and to see stars and all of that stuff. But a lot of times love comes to you in a very, very simple way. And if you're not paying attention, you will miss it. And I'm not talking about romantic love. I'm just talking about love. I mean, ask Heath. Heath didn't know that he was going to feel this way 3 months ago, 4 months ago, whatever, before Brighton was born.
I would have never been.
We could have told you.
I didn't know what that emotion was.
We could have told you.
The emotion did not exist before.
But yeah, it wasn't there. And now it's a whole new deal.
Yep.
In one instant, all of that changed.
Yep.
And that didn't, it was different.
Yep.
I'd love to go back and put together a little set of clips of us talking about it on the show and trying to give advice to Heath before and after and just listen to the whole thing.
That would be funny.
Now Heath walks around with a baseball bat and a gun.
Yep.
It's a whole different thing.
He'll drop a fool. All right, we ourselves feel that we are doing... okay, wait, I blew this. We ourselves feel that what we are doing is just a drop in the ocean. But if that drop were not there, I think the ocean would be less by that missing drop.
Huh.
Isn't that good?
We ourselves feel that what we are doing is just a drop in the ocean. Interesting.
Yeah.
And keep going with them because we can't really go into all of them.
I mean, yeah. Do you feel like a drop in the ocean, Heath?
No.
Neither do I.
No, but even if,
I mean, in a way,
but even if
we don't feel that way.
We are, but I strive to try and do more. But if you're somebody who feels like you're a drop in the ocean, that one less drop would make a big impact. What she's saying,
it would exactly, and it would because you're a big drop.
There are people in your life that without you there, it would make a massive impact, life altering, changing.
You're
impacts.
a big drop. Make sure you drip because people are waiting on you.
I don't know if you guys ever read that book, Cloud Atlas. I forget who it's by.
Oh yeah, Ayn Rand.
Yeah, they had that great drop in it about you're just a drop in the ocean. Then somebody said, well, the ocean is just a whole lot of drops. So what are you going to do?
Drops.
Yeah, that's how that got started. This one's interesting. Stay where you are. Find your own Calcutta. Find the sick, the suffering, and the lonely right where you are.
Yeah, if you know anything about Mother Teresa, obviously she gave her life to the poor and she gave her life to children. And you find people out there who go out there and they want to do charity work or they want to do, humanitarian stuff, and they look for ways that unfortunately gives them a lot of attention. I don't necessarily know that they are intending it that way, but it's a whole lot easier to go out there and, we've had that here with Hurricane Harvey. We've worked real hard to help folks down there. We're not doing it for attention. We're not doing it but suffering is.
I want to do it for attention.
That
how much the need is to try to get more people to give to them.
I had somebody.
You know what I mean? That's what I want to do. I want to drive the attention to get more to get to them. And I want to read my two favorite ones of it because we would take forever trying to read all of them and comment. But these two hit me really kind of like with her, which was bring love into your home. For this is where our love for each other must start. That is so powerful to me because I think that we sit there and the only way for the world to change is for every parent inside their own home to show a love like an agape love, as the Bible talks about, which is, one of the most powerful loves there is. An agape love is, and my dad he's preached for years on agape love and things of that nature, and that if we show that type of agape love in our homes and our children see that, that's how this world changes. Right. This world doesn't change by you going out telling people they need to love everybody else when you're going home and being disrespectful and not showing the love, that agape type love in your home. It starts with everybody showing more love themselves on their daily walk.
Yeah.
That will change this world and the generations of coming with it. And obviously Mother Teresa, there's even people who figured out ways to criticize Mother Teresa over the years, which is even astonishing to me. I get it, but I mean, it's like, look, that woman, there's always a way that people can find it, but, love is needed more so, and love is needed to be used in a much better, like, it's like, I can love you, but I don't have to like you. That's what I don't understand.
My mother told me that my whole life.
You can tell them, go, look, I can love and care for you, and if you were on the side of the road, I'd help you fix your tire. But I'm not going to go, I ain't going to go hang out with you, but I'm not going to go talk about you and go run you down to try to how it is. But That agape love is one of those things that I believe is much more needed, and how Mother Teresa obviously spent with her life with that. But I thought that one got me a lot, because it's, sometimes everybody goes out and trying to think everybody else has got to change something. They need to change the way they show love in their current household.
At the risk of sounding ignorant, what is agape love? I'm sorry.
So basically, the Greek language they have 4, but there's 3 basic words for love. You have eros love, which is a sexual type of love. It is a physical touch love. You have phileo, which is a brother type of love. It is, I feel admiration for you, I love you. So like Philadelphia.
Okay.
Phileo, the city of brotherly love. So, and then of course you have agape, which is a choice. It is making. That's what I was talking about earlier. It is making a choice to act lovingly towards someone. So
in the Bible, it says it's the most powerful love. It's Jesus. It's the way Jesus loves you. And
when you're looking at
1
Corinthians 13, when it says, the 3 things remain: faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. In the Greek language, that word is agape. So it is that ability to choose lovingly, because again, Jesus probably didn't. He might not have felt real lovingly when he was on the cross, but he still chose to sacrifice himself. In the Bible narrative of the crucifixion. So when Peter denied Jesus, and when he came back, he was all full of guilt after the resurrection, and Jesus was walking with Peter on the beach, and he says, "Peter, do you phileo me?" And he says, I phileo you. I brotherly love you. He says, "Peter, I'm going to ask you again, do you phileo me?" And he says, "Lord, I phileo you. I love you like a brother." And he says, "Okay, Peter, do you agape me?" And he says, in other words, are you willing to give your life for me? And Peter says, "I am." And so he said, "All right, go feed my sheep." In other words, go be my voice in the world. So that's the thing, that's what a marriage love is.
Yeah, and don't you think that's misunderstood, how people think that they've got to have this feeling, but love is a choice.
Right. It is a choice. You will, if you're married long enough.
Put that cart before the horse.
Put the cart before the horse. If you're married long enough, you will wake up some days, you'll roll over and you will look at the person you're married to and you'll go, "Oh, no, sure, I like this person today."
Yeah.
And I'm sure my wife looks at me all the time.
I guarantee you, Jake looks at you all the time and says, "I do not like this person."
Sometimes she even
tells
me.
If I was her, I cannot blame her.
She even tells me she doesn't like me so much. But you know what? Every day you make that choice. I'm going to act lovingly towards you, because emotions follow feelings. You act your way into feeling. Most people, that's a huge thing people screw up on. You try to feel your way into acting.
That's the worst thing to do.
I don't feel like going to work today. Well, go to work.
Well, you ain't gonna feel like getting a paycheck.
You ain't gonna feel like, you ain't gonna feel like getting, exactly.
You have to choose to love everybody around you. You have to choose to love the people that have different opinions than you. That's one of the biggest things I think, that when I look back at the 19-year-old Heath Oaks and the 30-year-old Heath Oaks now is that I have chose to be open-minded, to respect other people's opinions, and listen and love them based on their opinions either way it goes. Like no matter what their opinions are and they differ mine, I have to make a choice to still love them. Like we need to spread that. And let me tell you this. Let somebody attack you with a sword. Let somebody attack you with evil, and you respond in love, and it will be mind-blowing, game-changing, because people don't respond with love. People are responding with swords these days more than ever. If you become the minority and you respond with love instead of it, I look back at Dr. Martin Luther King, and one of the biggest things that obviously he talked about in the whole movement that made the biggest change in civil rights was Dr. Martin Luther King. We agree. I mean, it without a doubt made the biggest deal. And his whole message was responding with love, right? Not responding with violence, not responding with the sword. But the sword comes to you and you respond with love, and it makes such a big change that obviously a lot of things happen. I think in today's world, if you respond with the love, you're going to really throw people off because people aren't doing it.
A soft answer turns away wrath.
All day.
That's what Jesus said, and it's why. And I've always learned that it's hard. You go online, you just want people attack you. You want to attack back.
Well, and you get it all the time.
And what are you going to do? You're going to win that? Are you really going to win that?
You're not going to.
You're not going to win that. I actually have been.
The only way to win it is responding the way they don't expect you to, which is
exactly right.
With love,
kindness,
and all of those things that they want. They want to be stoked.
Yep.
They are begging you to stoke their fire, and they will respond with an extreme amount of more ignorance that will do nothing but piss you off more.
Ignorance.
Or you just respond with love and kindness, and they shut down. They're going to have nothing to respond to there.
Give it to me one more time.
I thought you were singing Backstreet Boys or something. Then.
I want it that way.
I gotta get some music drops in here for this. A little something I can play under him.
Yeah, that was incredibly too much. We need to move on to the third segment.
It's a good one.
If I hear Chad Prather sing any other boy band again, then my head may.
My fire.
See, I gotta make it.
Let's go, Zach. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Start the music.
Hey, we're going to the third segment.
Start it.
Bye.
Kick off your boots or suit up. The choice is yours. Welcome back to Second Shot with Chad and Heath on RNCN.
Alrighty. I'll tell you a funny story about a boy band. Or a boy band member. So
if you start a boy band, I am defriending you.
Don't you worry about that.
I'm gonna show you with love.
I think
I will defriend you.
I'm just gonna start saying everything with boy band moves. You know.
Is that on camera?
Can you see
yes.
that? Oh,
you got to go to
just
YouTube.
A little bit? Oh,
you must go to YouTube right now and check out Chad Prather's boy band moves. These are
there it is.
of epic display that he
Yeah.
just got into
Popping
it.
and locking.
He did drop it like it's hot.
Look at this.
So anyway, Brian Luttrell, who was one of the Backstreet Boys. So a lot of those boys, they live in the Atlanta area. Brian Luttrell, he lives in Atlanta, and he played on my softball team back in, 2009. He was getting ready for the MTV Celebrity Softball thing, so he got on our team, and he's playing third base for us, and pretty good little ball player. But he hit a ball in the outfield, and he was running around to second base, and he came sliding into second base. Tried to stretch it into a double, shouldn't have. They threw him out, and the guy tagged him out. It was the third out of the inning. And then when the second baseman or the shortstop tagged him out, and the umpire called him out, he goes, bye, bye, bye. Of course. And then he looks at him, and he goes, I know that's the wrong band, but that's just funny.
I don't even know who the right band is on that.
That's NSYNC.
Okay.
That's NSYNC. That's the Timberlake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, third segment here, we usually take listener emails again, but we're not getting quite as many as we'd expected. secondshotcast@gmail.com. Questions, comments, concerns, headlines you see that you had to take on. You want to send it to us and see if maybe we use your headline or just a question or comment or anything in that nature. secondshotcast@gmail.com.
We'd appreciate it. Instructional videos for dancing for Chad Prather.
Yeah, Chad will have his instructional.
I need it.
His instructional videos in a massive, massive way.
I need it. We need like craft services in here. We need like a whole buffet laid out.
I know. We got a candy jar, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
Have y'all been to I Heart Kolache yet?
Actually,
Get behind me,
Kristen went
Satan.
not that long ago.
Was she as impressed with it as?
She was impressed.
Okay.
Yeah, and she brought stuff back, and we all.
Did
all
you
had a
try
great
it?
Time.
Zach, how did you not try
Look,
it?
I've been trying to eat a little better, all right, and there's some carbohydrates in there. I know. I got to figure something out.
You know what surprised me yesterday? We stopped at Buc-ee's on the way.
Yep, we did.
Down to South Texas,
you
working
did.
with the
Why wouldn't
hurricane
you?
folks. And let me tell you, I bought, and I'm always, gas station food. It's so tempting when you see it. It's like bacon, egg, and cheese croissant. And you're like, I'm like, that's going to taste so disgusting. And I bought it. It's one of the best things I've put in my mouth in a.
Chad and I found out something yesterday about each other that we both had a little. I thought it was kind of a little weird deal that always got me, and then realized Chad was too. We have that weird deal of if you ever gone to a gas station and if you're just need to go to the bathroom, like have the need to buy something.
You're just going in to pee.
Okay.
And
I
you're
have to
like,
buy something.
I got to buy something.
Yeah,
I have to.
I don't know if I've ever run into that.
Every
Because
now and
we
then.
just got done eating and stuff like that, and we pull in there because, of course, I have a bladder the size of a peanut, and we go in the bathroom, and he comes out and gives me a bag of pretzels, and I go up there and I grab like beef jerky, and I go put
gummy
it up there.
bears because we
Probably.
both have a
I
weakness
love
for
some
gummy
gummies.
bears.
I'm telling you something. You give me Lifesaver gummies,
We love
gummy
bears.
worms.
Oh, they're so good.
I cannot eat enough. And
My
when I go up there
wife-
and I try to pay for the pretzels again, luckily the guy told me not to. And when he walks out,
Because
he's like,
I'd already paid for them.
Oh,
yeah, and
nice.
he's like, I just always feel like I gotta feel like I gotta buy something too. Like I don't feel like I thought I was the weird one that every time I go to the gas station, if I've just got to go because I need to go to the restroom, I have
Yeah.
to buy something. I cannot.
I just wanted
do
you
it.
to hold my pretzel while I went in the bathroom and held my pretzel.
Wait. Go ahead.
Small, twisted,
my wife last night,
salty.
she always hears about how Heath and I do all these things the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have the same, we have to pee at the same time. It's like we're in sync.
Yeah, yeah.
Right back to the boy band. And so my wife, she's always like, so when's the wedding? And I'm like, shut up, woman.
Those cost way too much
Shut up.
money. I'm not doing another one.
What do you do?
I heard it's legal now.
You guys, do you buy
Do you
stuff?
have that issue?
You know,
has that ever been a conscious
I'll tell you what
What,
it is.
man love?
My parents and I, they have a house in Michigan, and so every year when I was a kid growing up, twice a year, we'd hop in the car and we'd drive the 22-hour drive to Michigan, and we stopped at a lot of gas stations. My parents, being the frugal school teachers that they are, were always like, absolutely not. You're not getting anything at the gas station. Like, we have food
So they
in the
would
car,
just
you'll
use
be
the gas
fine.
station for the restroom.
Right. And that's what I was going to ask. Do you guys feel that way because it's some kind of like inhibition in yourselves that you're like, well, I want to pick up a treat for myself, or is it because you feel like
Oh, no, I feel
it's
like
a
I need
paying
to-
customer?
I'm a
like,
paying customer.
I feel like
I agree.
I feel
yes.
like to have used their plumbing, I
Right.
need to pay.
Yeah.
As I
Like-
get older, the more I
And
feel
it's
that
not that I
way.
would judge. Here's the funny thing about this is I don't judge people that are like what your parents, are talking about as well.
Yeah.
I kind of am. It's always been a conscious thing for me.
me too.
That I
Yeah.
feel like I need to
Me
spend
too.
money to use their facility.
So like we were in France recently, and they had this lady sitting outside the public restrooms, and it was like if you were getting on the train. She had a little window with a little change thing. You had to pay her in order just to go in the bathroom and use
Really?
it.
Somebody's got to man it and clean it and do
So,
all that, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
once upon a time, I can remember when I was a kid having the pay stalls. You had to put a dime or a quarter in
God,
there.
you're old.
I am old, dude.
I don't.
I remember
I
when
did
the
not know that.
Woolworths had a restaurant like a diner counter in the back of the.
Wow.
I mean, imagine going into Walmart right now and there being a diner in the back, just across the back wall.
Yeah, that's
Not
hilarious.
like a separate room, just right across the back
Yeah.
wall. There was just a diner with a greasy spoon grill and all that. That's what I grew up with.
Well,
Wow.
there's this guy I know that he's like one of those that believes he'll never pay for ice because it should be free. And I go, okay, who's actually going to? So who do you expect to pay for it to become ice and put it in a bag and transport it and get it here? Like if you're out and you need who do you? If ice is supposed to be free, who do you expect to be taking the hit? Somebody.
Yeah.
Is paying for it. Whether we go, okay, the government should, which means my taxes go up, so we're all paying for it, or you can just choose to buy it or not. You know what I mean? Like there's, Let
me make another argument,
I
then.
thought I was the only weird one.
That ice you're buying, that water you're drinking, the water in the toilet that I paid a nickel to use. Did you know, and they proved this back in the late 90s,
Yeah.
that there is not a drop of water on the planet that has not already been filtered through a human being's kidneys?
I believe it.
Huh?
There's
Why
not
not?
a drop of water.
Because it goes back up.
Everything's evaporation.
Yeah.
So, and it comes back down. There's not a drop of water on the planet that has not already been filtered through a human being's kidneys at some
Really?
point in time in history. It's all been
believe it.
filtered through a human.
That
so
is an
technically,
interesting tip.
technically, that's my water.
That is Chad
been in my
Prather's
body.
water.
It's my water. So if you're going to get ice, you pay me.
Yeah.
Do you have any weird things like that?
No, but I'll get on
Don't
board
say
with
no.
the.
You
I'll
got
get
weird
I'm
things.
sure I do. I'll get on board with the ice thing. Here's my thing regarding things.
Do
I
you
feel like
put
should
your
be
shopping
free.
cart up?
Absolutely.
That's
And I'll tell
all.
you why. I'll tell you why I do that, because I had to push carts for one summer in July
Gotcha.
in Houston. Yeah, and I learned a lesson then. It's like I'm always putting it back up. I'll even go out of my way to grab somebody else's because I feel bad
that's
for
a
the
P,
guy.
That's Heath. That's a big P for Heath, but
Yeah.
I'm with him on that. I want it put up.
Definitely. No, regarding the guy with the ice, here's what it is. If somehow, let's say, society came to an end and I'm out in the forest trying to build a tent out of leaves and palm trees and God knows what else, or I'm trapped on an island, could I make ice? No.
No.
I don't know how to make ice. I mean, I know it snows sometimes, in the winter, but that's about it for me. So when it comes to paying for ice, I'm like, well, I couldn't do that. I should probably just pay for it. That makes
Yeah.
sense. That's how
Somebody's
it
got
works.
to pay for the electricity.
Somebody
Exactly.
has to pay for the electricity.
Yeah.
Now, do you have anything else that's kind of weird like that you
Well, not in regards.
that you thought was odd or weird?
I'm weird. I mean, I'm
Well, for
real
sure.
weird.
Without
if-
a doubt.
Like one of my biggest pet peeves on the planet is if somebody takes food that they're eating and they stick it in my face and say, "Here, try this."
Yeah, you told me that.
Don't you dare do that to me.
can't. I'm
I will
so gonna
slap
do
it
that.
across the room. I will slap it across the room because I grew up with a mother going, "Here, try this. You'll love it. You'll love. Come on, for me, do it." Woman, I will one day pick out the home you will be living in, and I promise you, it will not be the good one.
Gonna be
It
shoving
will
that
not
in
be
it.
the one that has Febreze in it. It will smell like straight up urine that has been filtered through somebody's kidneys.
You'll open the door and say, "Here, try this."
And we'll just say, you know what? It's really the ocean, Mom.
Hey, what would you say the biggest thing you do to, like, if you're stressed or you get stressed out, or just when you start getting anxiety or stress and or you feel like there's a lot of things to make decisions on, what is your, like, do you have something that's kind of that thing that you do that kind of helps you release? Like, what is it? Just being by yourself, or is it being around a lot of people, or anything? That's Beavis. What is it?
Beavis and Butthead. Yeah,
I haven't thought about
is.
Beavis and Butthead in forever.
Yeah.
Mine is being alone. Like, I'm the guy that can get in by myself somewhere tucked in a corner for like a little while, and I just want to be in my own thoughts. And I cleared up myself. Like, I like to be away from people.
You know, I like to find. I'm with you on that.
Because I have a friend who's the opposite. When he gets out, he likes to be out with everybody else, and that would drive me nuts.
That's more the way I am.
Yeah.
I'm more of a pure extrovert. I want to be around people. I'm energized by the crowd. I get drained. As I'm getting older, though, I find myself wanting to pull away. So I have to go find a space. Yeah. Like, I can't just be alone. I need to be in a space that is, tranquil. I mean, like, a backyard setting, where you're just sitting and I can pour a glass of whiskey.
I could sit on my back porch with a drink with Chris Stapleton on the radio for 2 or 3 hours that most people would think would depress them more because it's depressing country music. But me, it makes me clear my thoughts, and I get one, and I come out alive.
What I do, especially when it gets colder, is I've got a fire pit in my backyard, and I like to go build a fire, and I'll just go back there and sit by myself. I don't know, pyromaniac or whatever. And I wish I could do that year round. And as soon as the temperature drops a little bit, I'll start building fires. That's kind of my thing.
Am I invited?
Absolutely.
We're going to smoke some brisket, some ribs.
We'll do that.
Watch some football.
Of course.
Let's do it.
In fact, we were talking about things we do. I'm installing a TV outside on the patio. Just for
when am I coming over to watch football?
Come on, baby.
Bring the big green egg.
Let's go. I got it.
Oh, you got one? Let's do it.
I got the large egg. We're ready to go, baby.
Hey, look, you can find me at Heath Oaks or at Ignorance on Fire. Secondshotcast@gmail.com. Send us something. Leave us a review. Share this with your friends.
You can find me in my backyard with a glass of whiskey, or you can go to watchchad.com or politicalcowboy.com and just have a good time with it. Find me on Facebook and get on Twitter and find me at WatchChad. And like Heath says, bye. Join us again next week for another episode of Life-Changing Second Shots.
You're listening to RNCN, the digital destination for premium talk radio.